Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So in this video we have our weekly Supreme Arena defense lineups. So I'm going to begin with the free-to-play team. There is also going to be a mid-range just using Harak team for this video, and then an all-out pay-to-win team which I'm going to be running for this week. We're going to lead it off with the first tried and tested Shimira Iron team, which will be the team 1 for all of my team lineups, even the most pay-to-win, because this is just consistently doing very well. Now it is using the 2 Graveborn faction talent tiles, and that's kind of essential, otherwise you can't get this optimal positioning of having Nero buffing up Shimira and also Damon buffing up Shimira. So I would recommend, especially because in PvP I'm always running like 2 Graveborn teams in Supreme Arena. I think you should always have 20 Graveborn faction talents just for PvP mainly, and then also, you know, the other areas, Legend Trials and AFK stages sometimes. So anyway, the idea is Nero is going to be in front of Iron. That is important because then a Lily May will interrupt Nero rather than Iron. Iron will go freely off. Almas is up front just to like tank for our team, and then Shimira is going to be buffed up by Nero's charms, also Damon's buff. She's maximally buffed up, and this Malison spell is doing very well for PvP for this team specifically. I've done testing of it. The crit that it provides is really good. So this is an overall very strong team, and this is what I definitely recommend running this sort of team. Moving on to team 2. Team 2, so we have a Nourishing Forest Infinite Front. This is going to cause, if an ally takes a fatal blow, which means damage to kill the hero, then Haywin will restore them 30% of their health and also make them invincible for 5 seconds. This is perfect for stall oriented teams. However, is also perfect for the Predator, the Apex Predator Cryonia. So that's a bit of the issue, right? Like, if Cryonia didn't exist, a team like this would be so strong here. The problem is, if someone brings Cryonia and they just have something to take the Lily May interruption, Cryonia is going to just shred the team. And I think Cryonia will even bypass this fatal blow because she actually turns them into ice sculptures. I don't think that is considered as a fatal blow. I'm not sure, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, this is the kind of weakness of this team here. But for like definitely lower spenders and mid-range, this is going to be one of the best options you can run. Tossie, Bonnie, Stroll, they're going to be difficult to kill, and that means more Bonnie value over the course of a long fight. Lily May will be interrupting the opponent. Now, as for the back tiles, I definitely think you should have Thorn protecting, Soul Pacting the Bonnie. That's important. And Tossie on the tile, it's a mixed opinion whether there's a good thing or a bad thing. Later on, having these Graveborn faction talent effects to power up Tossie's like attack and also her damage dealt is good for soloing. But early on, she's going to immediately proc one of her invincibilities because 60% of her health will be instantly drained at the beginning of the match. So you can also try Lily May here and Tossie off of it, but basically you can swap between the two and see which one does better. And Light Call spell for a Stroll team is going to be a great option. And then team number 3 is going to be the Mauler team with Lenya as a damage dealer. Now, if you don't have Lenya, and now we're going to really be getting into kind of like the more mid-range team, I think that also using Harak here would be good. Harak can do kind of well in Mauler teams, especially being buffed up by the Stellar Bond buff of the twins. Shakir is going to be taking the aggro. Shakir will get off his ultimate, and that is going to further give damage reduction to the Harak. That is basically the idea behind this team comp, and so definitely Harak, any melee sort of bruiser will do well. For a free-to-play option, Lenya will probably be the best choice. But even if, for example, you don't have Lenya built and you want to try something like Siren would also fit fine here. Not necessarily amazing, but he would do fine, and you still have this core 3 Maulers, which a lot of people have upgraded. So this is just kind of what I would recommend, either Siren, Harak, Lenya. You can really mix and match which hero you want to do here. Honestly, even Talene if you needed to. But yeah, I think Harak for the majority of players, or Lenya if you don't have any other Celestial Hypogean built. Okay, so for the mid-range team, I'll just quickly show you. It's going to be exactly the same. The only difference is going to be Harak on this final team. And even though we have a non-symmetrical map number 3, I was able to figure out a way for this week specifically in order that you can just copy the formation ID and you won't have to manually rearrange anything. So that's nice. But yeah, Harak I would recommend for this mid-range team. Otherwise, the teams I would say recommended the same. But like we said, we talked about the different replacements here. Now moving on to the pay-to-win team. So the pay-to-win team is going to be using the same team number 1, which I definitely think is a really good, strong option. But along with that, the other teams are going to be quite different. So moving on to team number 2, it is going to be a Celestial Hypogean team. Now, I don't even have the 20 Celestial Hypogean faction talents. It probably would be better if I had that unlocked, but I think Cryanaya for this map is going to be incredibly powerful because she can just nuke through I believe this invincibility. I think she turns them into the ice sculptures, which doesn't actually trigger as a fatal blow. And just like, you know, against Taylene, Thorin, she just insta one kills them. She doesn't allow them to revive. So I believe that's how it's going to work. Either way, even if that is not how it works, still you have incredible nuking here. You have Real Festo onto Cryanaya to give her energy. You have energy potion boosting from Rowan. You have Kulu on the Dark Tile. That's going to give Kulu bonus energy recovery. Kulu begins with 300 pre-fill energy. So she's going to get off her ultimate before Cryanaya to take an enemy Lily May interruption. That's basically the plan. You have Festo Illusion just to tank for your team. You have Lily May to interrupt, basically. And then you have Core Force Spell to further give unaffected and damage reduction and haste to your Cryanaya in the back. So basically this is a modification of the Clash Friends team that was come up with by Fight Club, and I think it will work well on this map number 2. Yeah, but if you need a replacement, this is where the issues are, right? This Cryanaya team is very pay to win because you can't just run Cryanaya, Festo, and one other. I guess you could run like one of the Celestial Hypogean, but it has to be a good one for this team. If you run something like Taylene, if you run something like Scarlita, the problem is Cryanaya is going to charge energy first, and she's going to run right into an enemy potential Lily May. Kulu is perfect because she has the 300 pre-fill energy. She's going to cast first, as well as provide protection for your team with the barricade and range defense buff. It's basically the perfect ally for Cryanaya. That is the thing. But if you need to use something else, I guess it would have to be the twins. I think actually twins would work pretty decently. Like, you wouldn't be able to have, like, it would have to be something like this, but then basically you still have a similar type of game plan. You'll have the twins, which are gonna cast ultimate first with the 300 pre-fill energy, and then followed by Cryanaya to freely cast your ultimate. Like, I guess you could do something like that because they are still left over. So that's basically what you have to keep in mind, but Kulu has perfect synergy with Cryanaya. So moving on to the next team, the final team, this is also going to be different. It isn't going to be the Mauler team because I decided, because Graveborns are left over, I think Graveborn, Athalia, Nuke will probably be better than the Mauler team with Athalia. Both are good options, but I think this is really good. Also here, for example, if you don't want to run Athalia, definitely Taylene also works really well in this stall type of strategy. But Athalia, of course, is the best PvP hero. If you have her, you should go for it. So Bonnie and Athalia on the Graveborn faction talent tile, that's going to increase their damage output. Tassi for stalling, Ludovic for healing. Thorin going to protect the Ludovic. The Tassi is a bit awkward in this team, and also she's in a weird position, but like there's nowhere else she can be, right? That's kind of the issue. But if you didn't want to run Tassi, you know, comps like these also do well with Citrana. But I think a lot of people have Tassi invested. Like, we also have Tassi more upgraded. And the other problem is if you run Citrana, can never end up in a good position. There's only 4 tiles grouped up. That's the major issue with this map, that you can't run a lot of comps because it's such a weird map. You can't have your team all grouped up. So, and we're running it with the Shadow Blast spell, although maybe Dragon Roar could potentially be better. But anyway, guys, I'm going to try running these pay-to-win teams for this week. I want to see how they do. I'll also test against the other top rankers in my district. And but I think the other teams are going to be great options as well. And also looking back at if you want to go for more of that mid-range team with Harak, you can definitely just swap out also Harak for Athalia here, like we always normally do for this map. If you have Athalia and you want to run her, but you don't want to run like the Kulu and incredibly pay-to-win teams. So anyway, guys, good luck with Supreme Arena this week. If you have any other recommendations, you can feel free to share them in the comments section. But thank you all for watching. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.